DC asks, any plans to get back to what is going on with Max? I hope I asked that right. Yes, you did. And for those not quite sure, I'm certain he's asking about King Maximilian Acorn. We're not done with King Max. We'll be looking back in on him every now and again. CMJM asks, considering how the Cats were the Knuckles clan's major rival in the comics, and then the Nocturnus were introduced as the Knuckles clan's major rival in the games, hypothetically, if the Nocturnus were officially introduced in the comic continuity, would you have any idea to explain how these three major civilizations interacted with each other? A simple yes or no works if you don't want to get detailed. I don't want to get detailed because I do have a way for it all to work, and I do have one place where I'd like to explain it, but I can't talk about it yet. So there is a plan. It's just I don't know when we will get to the point of revealing said plan. But there's a plan. It's very plan-like. Super Razor asks, after finding out about Sonic Colors, it made me wonder how far in advance from release do you receive the storyline of a game before you make an adaptation? There's no hard set number of days, but we usually get the information roughly 3 months before the adaptation comes out. That's about the average that I've experienced so far. Sonic Blur asks, when can we expect to see Mighty and Ray's adventure if you actually plan on working on it? Please, you think I'd just let them loiter out in the ether forever and ever and ever? I've got a plan for Mighty and Ray. It's not going to be this year, but it's coming. I promise you it's coming. Sonic Blaster 59 asks, what happened to all the citizens of New Mobotropolis after the Iron Dominion invasion was over? Last we saw them, they were in a mass exodus from the city in sheer panic. Some were deported, some were detained and legionized. With the invasion over, Sonic and Sally victorious, is the city back to normal? Well, as the months have passed, you've kind of seen where this is going. Most of the citizens remained in the city, captured. Only a very small percentile were actually legionized, but the effects of the Iron Dominion are lingering. If you want to see more from street-level perspective, check out the blogs at archiecomics.com, where occasionally we're doing character perspectives and journals from the point of view of the number of the characters during the Iron Dominion occupation. The fallout of the Iron Dominion occupation will be showing up throughout the pages of Sonic and be a major plot point for a long time to come. Tutti Frutti 112 asks, immediately after Bunny was roboticized, she demonstrated her super strength. Seeing that it came along with robotization, can it be assumed that Jules also has super strength? Yes, I'd say Jules is stronger than your average Mobian, but I don't know if I'd classify him at the same level as Bunny. She's just special. Kintobor asks, strange question actually. Oh, good, I do enjoy strange questions. When you want to devise a plot or an idea, do you also get the lingering notion that you feel everything has been done before and that there will be nothing groundbreakingly new to create? With someone telling you that X thing/series did it before. That's something that you just can't avoid. As the saying goes, there's only 7 original plot lines in the world. And with a comic that's been around for nearly 225 issues now, not counting the specials and spin-offs and miniseries, there's going to be some retread ground. I'm not really trying to concern myself if this particular idea has been used before. I'm just out to tell a fun story, an interesting story, and if it happens to be similar to something that's come before, that's just the way it goes. I'm not actively seeking to copy other material, but I'm not actively trying to avoid every single idea that's come before. Penguin God asks, now that we've seen the Lake of Rings, I'd like to ask Ian, where did the Chow go? Well, as we now know, they all went off to the Southern Baronies to the Chow Garden run by Vanilla and Cream, and now that that's been totaled, they've all come back to the Lake of Rings and New Mobotropolis. See, the comic already answered it because I'm slow and... Okay, next question. Weird Tales asks, how do your own personal experiences influence you in the stories and the conflicts you portray the characters in? That's a big question. That's one of them sit down and think and talk about it at a coffee shop type questions. I think it influences how I think about how the characters would approach their conflicts, how they would interact with each other, how they would interact with the world around them. It also influences how I think about the entire world and how it's constructed. It's hard for me to pinpoint that objectively because it's hard to self-analyze and then self-analyze my self-analyzation and how that applies to the book. I'm sure it influences in many nuanced ways that I can't even perceive. This is the kind of question that you want to hunt me down at a convention and ask so that I can answer it without a time limit floating over my head. Winking Samurai asks, you've let slip before that you read Invincible. What are your top 5 favorite comic book series? Let's see. Without any particular order, I like following Invincible. Bone was excellent. Adored Full Metal Alchemist, and I know that there's going to be some people who don't like me calling the manga a comic, but come on now. Been following Ultimate Spider-Man, and we'll give a toss-up between X-Factor and X-Force since I've kind of lapsed reading both of those right now. Red Fox BR asks, after TAR, can we expect more stories about Tales in the back issues? I'm going to assume you mean after the Tales Adventure arc, and by back issues, I am going to guess you mean the backup stories in the regular series. We'll see more of Tales. I don't know if we're going to focus on him specifically, but we're not going to get rid of him. Aurora Red Winters asks, with the upcoming Tales arc in Sonic Universe, that's how long it's been, folks. Tales' arc wasn't even out yet. Tails looks to be the star of the arc, but Bunny and Antoine look to be along for the ride as, well, supporting cast, which leads me to the question, drumroll please, are future Sonic Universe stories going to be only focused on a limited scale with the Sega Sonic characters, or is it even possible we might see a Sally, Bunny, Julie Sue, etc. centric arc? The sad fact of the matter is the Sega Sonic characters sell the book. I know the saying is you can't judge a book by its cover, but in the highly, highly competitive comic book market, you have to grab the readers with the cover, and more people are going to recognize Sonic or Silver or Shadow or Rouge or Blaze or even Big the Cat before they recognize Bunny or Julie Sue. It's painful to admit, but unfortunately it's true. So we're probably going to have some kind of Sega Sonic character, at least at the forefront, to get the story rolling, but you guys should know by now that I am all for the Archie Sonic cast, and I'm not going to let them slip by the wayside just because. A spoonful of Sega Sonic makes the Archie Sonic go down, to horribly butcher the phrase. Forever Scourge fan asks, does Sonic and Scourge and all the Mobians/Mobians have the same voice? That's Mobians with an E the first time. Yes, they all have the same voice because they're the same persons, but they would have different inflection. The anti-Mobians would sound eviler. Don't ask me how that works, because thankfully this is a silent medium. Ha ha! Get away with that one.